r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. People who have had parents walk in on you during sex. What happened? Friend of mine had his dad walk in. Keep in mind this was back in the 90s. He just looks at them for a second, says, "Well, at least it's a girl this time," and walks out. He was straight. Dad still laughs about it. His son is still annoyed. Grandma was on the phone and wanted to talk to me. Mum didn't think, walked straight into my room, walked straight out, and told my grandma I couldn't come because my girlfriend and me were watching an exciting movie. I was 16 and me and a girlfriend were going at it, and my dad opened my bedroom door and caught us. For like 3 seconds we stared at each other and he said, "Boy, when you get done, come help me fix this fucking truck." Down the hallway he yelled, "And hurry the fuck up." We never finished and went outside. My dad was under the hood. She said, "I can help too." He told her go in the garage and get the pliers. Turns out her dad was a mechanic and our parents became best friends after that. Dad opened the door. We made eye contact. He closed the door while flashing me a thumbs up. Found him in the garage a few hours later and asked him not to tell my mom. He looked at me and said, "Do you think I'm crazy?" And that was that. I was like 16, I think. Rest in peace, Dad. You were fucking hilarious. Girlfriends. Now my wife's dad threw her bedroom door open. We locked eyes. He said, "You wanna get the fuck out of my house?" I said, "Yep," and started back out of the window I came in through. Got halfway out and he said, "Forgot these." He picked up my shoes and threw them at me. Man, Christmases were awkward for a while. We got married 2 years later. I have a similar story, but it was my girlfriend at the time's mom who caught us. As I was leaving through the basement bulkhead, where I had snuck in from, she said, "You can leave through the front door." Man, embarrassment is an understatement. Dad-in-law barges in. "Hey, can you help me get this up on the attic?" "Oh." Me with deer in headlights eyes. "Maybe in 2 minutes." Okie dokie. There was no talking while moving stuff to the attic 2 minutes later. My mom backed up, closed the door, left the laundry outside, and apologized later on. It was a basement, so we just stopped and held each other pretending to be asleep, but naked, under the bed's only sheet. Her mom noticed us and climbed back up the stairs. Her family was mad at us, but not too mad. They thought she was a lesbian for the longest time. One of my first boyfriends and I were having sex in his bed in his parents' house. We were being super quiet, had Family Guy playing in the background, and the lights were off. We were both laying on our sides under the covers, and he had entered me from behind. We were both facing the door. His mom came in while he was inside me, and the three of us had a full conversation about dinner. Part of me thinks she was just oblivious, but another part of me wonders if she knew and was just fucking with us. I was 18 and my mom came home early. Luckily she walked in like 15-20 seconds after we had finished. She opened my door and we kinda just stared at each other for a second and she just left lol. Later on that night she just said, "Please tell me you wore a condom. I'm too young for grandchildren." Had my in-laws walk in the exact moment I started coming inside their daughter, my wife. I heard, "Oh shit," and looked up to see her mom and dad standing there with their mouths wide open before turning around and closing the door. I can only imagine how much worse that would have been if we weren't married. Your house? Their house? Why are they walking into their married children's bedroom? Their lake house? They were out on the boat when we started. They were not out on the boat when I started coming. I was eating my girlfriend out for the first time and had her panties off, skirt up, laying on the bed. Her mom knocked on her bedroom door and my then girlfriend pulled down her skirt. I sat up in like 0.000005 seconds. The mom then opened the door and saw our faces red as cherries and was like, please leave the door open, bye. After that we were more discreet. Not the parents, but my ex's sister walked in on us when I was sucking him, then she shrieked and closed the door so fast and ran away. My ex's mum walked in on us while I was literally going to town on her on top. We were too loud to hear her come home. Her mum opened the door, I jumped off, and we both got under the covers. She laughed and said, "What were you guys up to?" Was followed by complete silence. She then came over and sat on the bed to talk about the plans for our holiday coming up. Still rock hard under one singular thin sheet with my girlfriend's mum sitting next to me. Never been so uncomfortable in my life. Future mother-in-law caught us going at it. Told us we can't let her dad know or he will kill us. A few months later, he caught us and said the same thing about future mother-in-law. After we had been married a few years, somehow it came up and both were looking at each other saying, "You knew but didn't tell me." An ex invited me over while her parents were out, we were teenagers. Her younger siblings were home and just watching TV, so we went to her room to fool around. Her younger brother walked in on us, then told her parents. Her dad was surprisingly cool about it. Asked if we could talk about what happened, I said of course. He understood he couldn't stop us from doing it. He just wanted to make sure we were being safe, and I was being respectful, and maybe next time we should lock the door. It was more of a sex talk I ever got from my parents, which was literally just don't be fucking stupid please. I was in an exchange trip to Denmark. The girl of the house, both 16 or 17, invited me to share her bed. Her mum walked in and saw us. At breakfast with the family present, she said that as you two were fucking anyway, could we carry on sharing her fun for the weekend, so Uncle Hans could have the spare room. And everybody sort of nodded good idea. Me and my girlfriend were having sexy time at her house. We were in the middle of it, and her mom knocks on the door. I still had a shirt on, but my girlfriend was butt naked under the sheets. I sit up straight with only my covered upper body showing. She comes in with our newborn niece of a couple of months old. She hands her to me because she had to do something real quick. Here I was, butt naked, with a rock hard erection, with a couple of months old baby in my hands. My girlfriend and I burst out laughing. Couple of minutes later my mother-in-law comes back, has a small talk, takes the baby out of my hands and leaves. I honestly think she did not suspect anything. Weirdest erection ever. I was 16 and over at my boyfriend's place, which was a foster care situation. He'd just been placed in the system. We were going at it, and his foster guy he lived with, a gay drag queen, no joke, walked in, said oops sorry guys don't mind me. Left, and then came back 5 minutes later, with a handful of condoms and flavored lube, told us to be safe, and left again. We were traumatized. Girl invited me over for dinner to meet her dad. We were hanging out in her room later on. Her dad said he was going to run a errand real quick and was about to leave soon. Girl started begging me for sex. Your dad is going to walk in, let's at least wait for him to leave first I say. She says she wants it now. She begs so much that I give in and give it to her. Lo and behold, her father walks in and sees my balls smacking his daughter's cheeks. I don't know why she couldn't wait. I didn't even wanna have sex. I just wanted a nap before working my night shift. Met this girl and stayed over after the second date, lived with parents. She failed to tell me that her dad drops off their pug on her bed before work around 4 AM every morning. I also sometimes wake up horny halfway through the night. So her dad opens the door while she is riding me. She puts her head on the side of my neck, so I'm just staring at her dad. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but while making eye contact, I bit her ear. Dad goes, "Oh I see what's going on here." We dated for 9 years and the dad never brought it up. Dad was actually really cool, and the girl ended up cheating on me with someone older than her dad and got pregnant. I feel sorry for the dad. Her mom also cheated on him, and he gave me a pep talk one day saying to leave his daughter so my life doesn't turn out like his. Apple didn't fall far from the tree. I left after that. I was 16 with a girl from work and we sneaked into my room while my parents were asleep. We messed around etc. and during a dad walked in, he just said oh and then closed the door. So we continued. Funny thing is, hour or so later, I let the girl out because she was going home. I closed the front door really quietly from the inside and suddenly the light in the living room pops on and Dad was sitting there in his chair with 2 cold beers. He said sit down son. And how was it? We just finished our beers and went to bed after. He never told my mom. My dad was awesome. Once with my first boyfriend, we were in the middle of the act and his mom came in to put away some clothes, but instead of simply going back, she continued with her mission of putting away the clothes, and my ex-boyfriend had to kick her out of the room while I covered myself under the covers and wished I could disappear ASAP. I was 16 or 17 at the time. My mom walked in on us, said, "Oops, sorry." Closed the door again, but then continued to knock and told me I need to give the cat his worm medicine now. Well, I was pissed about it, rushed to do it, grabbed the cat wrong, got bitten on my finger, developed blood poisoning, and spent the next 2 weeks in the hospital. Lovely memories. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more. Have a nice evening. Tell your friends about me.